If you are a first-year student at Queen's this year, over the summer you probably received a copy of The Glass Castle, an extraordinary memoir by Jeanette Walls as part of the Queen's Reads program. Jeanette claims that her main goal in writing is simply to get people to understand. She says that with increased understanding comes increased compassion.
If telling my story helps people get past the idea that poor folk are different than them, they're just in a different circumstance, if it can get them to have a little bit more empathy for the homeless folks or the raggedy kids in their class, then that was my goal.
Jeanette Walls is a former gossip columnist for MSNBC.com. Her memoir, The Glass Castle, stayed on the New York Times bestseller list for 100 weeks, has sold 4.2 million copies, and has been translated into 31 languages, and it will soon be made into a Lionsgate film.
Paramount was looking at it for years, and I'd seen the script, and they were pushing it in the direction of a romantic comedy. So when it was up for renewal, we didn't renew with them, and Lionsgate got it. Now, Lionsgate is the same company that made The Hunger Games with Jennifer Lawrence, and when she heard that they were working on it, she said, I want to be in that movie. So right now, Jennifer Lawrence is slated to star in it, and she also wants to be executive producer. And somebody asked me if this is a dream come true, and I was like, I would never dare dream anything so extravagant. I mean, oh yeah, I want the hottest star in all of Hollywood to play me. It just blows me away.
If you know her other works, the story of her first novel, Half Broke Horses, is loosely based off of her own mother's childhood. This June, Jeanette Walls released her newest novel, The Silver Star, which she claims to have been her first work of fiction that actually started out this way.
The Silver Star is the first book I completely made up, and it was a real challenge because I've always thought of myself as somebody who doesn't make things up. And I think I've come to realize that this sort of fiction that I'm drawn to is actually very close to nonfiction. It's about two girls with an irresponsible mom who get in over their heads because they try to take on the responsibilities of an adult. So you obviously kind of write what you know. But it was quite a challenge because I think whether it's fiction or nonfiction, you're trying to tell the truth, an emotional truth, if not an actual truth. So even though the process is different, in my opinion, it's sort of the same end result, trying to get people to think about themselves and others differently.
Now, because your book, The Glass Castle, was chosen as this year's Queen's Reads for the first years, for the incoming first years, do you have any words of wisdom to them or to any other Queen's students?
For whatever it's worth, trust yourself. Trust yourself and trust other people. That's one of the many mistakes that I made, is I didn't think anybody would understand my story. I thought it was too wacky and that I would be ostracized once people knew the truth about it. But I wasn't ready to tell it. If you trust yourself, I've honestly come to believe that those things that we like the least about ourselves can be our source of greatest strength if we're able to look there and exploit it. Mm-hmm. But you might not be quite ready. So while you're in school, just be greedy about learning. Just take everything you can. Just soak it all up and learn not only about the world, but about yourselves.
Thank you so much for letting us use your book as a Queen's Reading program.
It really is a great honor. Thank you.
I'm Anna Fabregas from QTV. Thank you.